Like a home game for them, and the team that they're watching today has Cummings at full-back, Pratt, Walker, Senior and St-Hilaire are the three-quarters, half-backs Harris and Burrow, and in the forwards Fleary, Mears, Matthew, Hay, Farrell and Sinfield. And just in case those players don't do it right and win this game for Leeds, then on the bench ready to show them how to do it is Sheridan, Carroll, Clyde, all back from injury, and Calderwood. Now on paper, looking at the table, both the teams today have won 3 matches and lost 3 matches this season, but you just sense that the Rhinos are on the up, and maybe the Salford City Reds are just levelling at the moment because they suffered injuries. Gary Broadbent, Chris Tassel, Jason Nichol, Neil Baines, all missing, but today for the Salford City Reds, Graham Holroyd is standing in at fullback, Nick Pinkney, Francis Maloney, and a new left-wing combination of Stuart Lickler and Neil Baxter. Neil Baxter there instead of the injured Martin Afire. Steve Blakely and Bobby Goulding at half-back, and what a big influence Bobby Goulding is having down here at the Willows. In the forwards, Paul Southern, Malcolm Alker, Damien Driscoll, Warren Jowett, Paul Heighton, Mike Wainwright. Substitutes Darren Brown, Andy Coley, Mike Hancock and Carl Hammond. And what a big occasion for those young men down there as the two captains shake hands. Harrison Goulding, those mascots out there today, big occasion for them all, and the young lady as well, and a photograph I'm sure they'll treasure, and maybe one day, let's hope in 50 years time, they can show to their grandkids. Let's hope the game's still around then. So, the Salford City Reds had a thrilling victory at Castleford on Good Friday, while the Loiners were losing at the Wolves, but since then, Leeds came back with a victory on Easter Monday, whereas the Salford City Reds, looking a little bit tired and jaded, struggled and suffered a 2-point defeat against the London Broncos. But a reasonable crowd for the Willows. Conditions absolutely atrocious. Summer rugby, but it's raining, has been doing for the last hour or so. So the stands full and a fair crowd. And the Rhinos coming into this game as the favourites, as Goulding goes for the early kick, the first early kick that bounces and runs and finds a good touch now. Young man for Salford City Reds, Neil Baxter, wearing 24, one of those players targeted by rugby union. It is a legend indeed, went with the English rugby union team over to Chile recently. Big scoring success for the academy team and an England athletics international. But his first start in real action for the first team as the Rhinos get going quickly up the middle. Fans like that, the surge and the tackle. So the Rhino moving it well. And the Salford fans happy to sing at the moment as Anthony Farrell is tackled. Still comes out right. Harris with the kick. Look how high that guy can kick the ball. Holroyd with his first take. New position to him. I've seen him play there I think once before, but that's a very safe catch under pressure from the Rhinos chase. Southern tackled quickly. Jamie Matthew, one of the 3 tacklers. Switch of direction, Jowett tries to go forward, takes on Chev Walker, but Chev Walker, first of his tackles. Damien Driscoll not quite expecting that one from Alker. Goulding looking through the 6, and a kick from Goulding pushes the Rhinos back and finds the first class touch for the City Reds, 10 metres from the Leeds line. So now under new management, as it were, Rhinos looking to impress. No thoughts of Twickenham for them this year. so they can concentrate totally on winning Super League fixtures. And today, we know that this is a fixture which traditionally, over the last few seasons, they've had no problem in winning, and have started this game in that same style as well. Forcefully. Salford. Stretching. There's a little kick through. So that's 6 raw tackles now, 6 for the Rhinos. Russell Smith is deciding yes, he's waved them out now, thanks to the assistance of the chap up here next to me. So, Rhinos still with a chance, and there's a kick early on, which again Holroyd takes and makes safely his, and then tries to find a way through a very strong Rhinos defensive line, led by Darren Fleary and Jamie Matthew. Malka just threads it forward to Driscoll to take it into Leeds territory. Blakely's first touch finds Jowett inside easily enough. Jowett releases to Walker. Walker still gets it away. Salford moving the ball, but Southern in the end holds on to it because Leeds defensive line up quickly. He has a little scurry on his own, but not very far, and it's the 6th tackle already, and Salford's still outside the Leeds 30. Leeds be happy with that, so little kick over from Golding. That sits nicely, only little change of tactics, but not fooling the Rhinos defence in any way. Cummings makes it safe. Look at this brilliant play from the Rhinos deep inside their own territory, moving that ball around, trying to gain that extra yard. Salford sticking to their defensive task. Darren Fleary. Jamie Matthew, it's the last one. It's going to Harris. Little kick over. Who's going back for it? All right, again, makes it safely his. Then just chooses the straight route. But that chase from the Rhinos so good. Neil Baxter's first run with the ball. Gets away well, does well. Crossfield maybe, but proving a little difficult in putting down. As Driscoll works it over the 20. Not a day for pretty rugby really. Wet conditions, greasy ball. And Bobby Goulding inside the 40. Marcus St-Hilaire, plenty of time to make it safely his, which is what he does. And Salford chase, greets him inside his 20-metre area line. Good kick from Goulding. Good kick made better for the good chase. And Salford sticking to their tackling tasks. Sinfield sets off up the short side, but Maloney puts him down. Leeds working this ball steadily. Jamie Matthew looks for support. Now it's the last one. It's Harris again for the kick over again. And sits, bounces nicely that time for Holroyd. Chase again, good, and Holroyd eludes his first, but not second tackler. Stuart Nicola has a go. And Paul Southern does the same, but Rhino was happy to make their tackling count. Nice little surge from Heighton. Evades the first tackle but not the second, and the Salford fans like that, and the referee Mr Smith decides that he was impeded when he was trying to get up. So the penalty goes the way of the Salford City Reds, and with the excellent kick from Steve Blakely, Salford have a real attacking opportunity inside the 40. And Driscoll takes it forward. Goulding switches direction inside to Jowett. Shrubs his men off, stays on his feet, but not now. 20 metres out. Rhinos on the toes. Olker goes on his own, still goes on his own. Leeds defence do well though. He gets on with it quickly to Wainwright. Wainwright threatening to find an opening but can't. Good defence from those Rhinos as Stuart Littler has a go close to the line. It's the last one. Blakely's there to go to Goulding. Goulding with a little kick. It's bouncing. Well, that's comfortably taken. Great take. And here's a chance for the Rhinos. If the Salford hadn't made their tackles, and Sinfield brings it away. And that time is Salford, who are deemed to have impeded. Great speed from both Leeds wingmen. Well, that is a brilliant kick. Salford not quite back far enough, and I think that was against the wind as well. And it now gives the Rhinos a real opportunity inside Salford half. 9 minutes gone to test the Salford defence. That one's come out. The referee says he dropped it. So no pressure on the Salford Reds defence, and we're going to see a lot of that today, I'm sure. It's Carl Pratt who's playing on the left wing. Salford have the put in and have a chance to break with Wainwright. Uses the double runner. Paul Heighton, growing in stature, international with Wales. Paul Southern working hard, but no way past these Leeds defenders. Goulding will switch to Jowett, and Jowett's now got in the clear, pushes one off, and another great play from Jowett. Couldn't see Malcolm Olker on his shoulder. Great determination from him. And there's Holroyd in the line, little jab through, that's dangerous, has to be played, and played safely by Carl Pratt, running the ball dead. Safety first, obviously the right thing to do. It might have run dead, but Carl Pratt was taking no chances. And that was Graham Holroyd joining the line for the first time from his deep full-back position. Graham Holroyd leads one of his former teams as Harris drops out. It's a good deep kick, and nobody's ready for it. Sends Salford back a long way, and Wainwright has to go back 20 metres to pick it up, and by the time he's back, the chase from Leeds putting down only just inside his own half. But a good period of pressure from the City Reds at the moment. Driscoll takes the flat ball and goes forward 10 metres. Salford just in the ascendancy at the moment, early days. Goulding switches direction back to Olker to Blakely. Blakely tackled though, he in front of the post. Goulding involved again. Oops. And Goulding drops the ball, slips out of his hand. Now that time it was the turn of the City Reds not to cause any pressure on that Leeds defence. So an interesting start. 11 minutes gone. Even Stevens, no scores, and the tacklers so far doing their job. That could all change in a trice. Oh, cheeky little run from Rob Burrow, smallest man on the field. Plays above his size. Sinfield brought that one forward. And that time, it's Anthony Farrell who's tackled. It's a flat ball that some fans wishing he were forward. If you're a Salford fan, Jamie Matthew get to the 6-1 already. There's a little kick through that's going deep. Oh, and Holroyd takes that comfortably. And then sets off and looks for 1 second as though he might have strode clear. Didn't though. So Lickler takes it infield before trying to find a way through straight. And the referee, Mr. Smith, deciding, I think, that there was either an infringement in the tackle. That there was. Stuart Lickler, obviously in discomfort. High tackle. But, thankfully recovered. That's an excellent touch-finding kick from Steve Blakely. And Lickler's there already taking the penalty. And Blakely's involved at the other side of the field almost. Holroyd's up in the line. 20 out. Salford working hard to get to the Leeds 10. Goulding's in the line. Blakely, little run around. Dummy from Blakely. Not bought by the Leeds defence. Little reverse pass from Olker. Oh, ball goes loose. And the Leeds can't believe they've got it. And now they've got a chance if they break. Oh, but they've thrown it away again. And it comes back to Pinckney, who eschews his tackler, sets off, crossfield. Dangerous running, but that defence from the Rhinos, so good. Interesting period of play, both teams surrendering possession, and Salford having the benefit of that decision from Mr. Smith, seeing infringement, knee going in at the play of the ball, gives Salford the first opportunity to put points on the board. Bobby Goulding happy, I think, to go for goal. Interesting game in difficult conditions. It's drizzling hard, pitch getting wetter, obviously the ball slippy, as we've seen by those 2 previous incidents. And Salford were going forward. And then it was Jamie Matthews sensing an overlap within the Leeds 20. Just passing the ball forward, and Pinckney made it his. So, Goulding successful, 2-0 to the City Reds. I think what Mr. Smith, the referee, Mr. Smith, is saying to his assistant up here, Mr. Holsworth, is that he can't hear what Mr. Holsworth is saying to him. His earpiece has gone. So today, if that situation continues, it might not. Could be all on his own if it did. So that's an interesting kick. All of a sudden watches it all the way into his arms and makes it to the 20. Neil Baxter sets off again on a little run across field again. It's elusive running from Baxter. Cross field it might be, but at the end it all comes to naught, because what you shouldn't do is run yourself out of play. But there's Bobby Goulding first over to him to say never mind, but it does mean that Salford have got to do the tackling from within the 30. So Baxter's crossfield running looking impressive, but in the end out of play, gives the Leeds Rhinos the chance to attack the Salford line. Harris quickly to Cummings, little switch to Chev Walker. Chev Walker put down. Dangerous start of the present as well as the future, Chev Walker. Anthony Farrell stopped. The combination of Jowett and Littler. Good line for the Rhinos now. But Darren Fleary tackled in the middle of the field, and this is Leeds' best attacking period of play. And Mr. Smith seeing Salford commit the same sort of offence that Leeds committed just a few minutes earlier, and Justin Harris will do what Bobby Goulding did, go for the goal, and from this position you would expect him to level the scores. So 17 minutes gone. Harris takes his, what always seems an eternity to settle himself, and at the end of it do the important thing from the Rhinos' point of view, and that is level the scores 2 points apiece. So both teams working hard and finding it difficult to find a way through the opposing defence, but early days. Anthony Farrell had a good run then. Cummings up. Warren Jowett not happy with something about Farrell did then. And so I wasn't watching that minute, I was just following the play. But what is Mr. Smith going to decide about this? So I think we've got cards coming out here. So Warren Jowett's the first to go for the first offence. Well, that's the only card. The 10 minutes in the sin bin for Warren Jowett, when you would have thought, but with an elbow in his face, unjustifiably. That is an amazing kick, not intended, but Salford now under pressure. And their first initiative now with the Rhinos, because they have the one-man advantage for 10 minutes. As Driscoll works it up the middle. And it was Driscoll this time, and the Salford City fans making their voices heard, feeling their team is up against it, that Jowett was unfairly treated. But one man down, Salford still going forward. Malcolm Olker, perpetual motion. It's the last tackle, and that's the high one. Little is chasing, chase is on. Great take. No tackle made, and now there's a chance up this end. Marcus St. Hilaire. Tackle not completed, and Blakely across doing the defending job. The game switching the way of the Rhinos at the moment. This time it's opposite winger Carl Pratt who's looking for the ball, and the Rhinos will know that they have a one-man advantage to spread the Salford defence, and the referee deciding that that ball wasn't played properly. And so from the knock-on, there's the penalty, and from the talking by Andy Hay, it's the 10 metres back, and Bobby Goulding is going to say thanks for the penalty. And we'll just slow things down with the one-man disadvantage. Time to kill, and we'll kill part of that time by going for the goal. So Andy Hay being penalised then for disagreeing with Mr. Smith's decision. Warren Jowett, such an influential player for the Salford City Reds. So this could be a key period of this game. You sense that if Leeds get in front in this spell with the extra man, it will be very difficult for the City Reds to get back into it, particularly when you look at the quality on the Leeds bench. Sheridan, Carroll and Clyde and Calderwood still to impact on this game. So Goulding takes his time. Strikes it nicely, sweetly, and straight through the post. The City Reds fans, they like that one. 4-2 to the City Reds. So Harris gets it going. Difficult one to take, all but controlled well and safely, importantly. Southern takes it up, but Harris up there, joining in the tackling with Chev Walker. Alker releases the ball to Blakely. Bit of a dangerous pass, but Blakely makes it safely his. The Southern tries to barge away through, but against 3 Leeds defenders is not really going to. And again, the referee sees the infringement against the Rhinos. So the penalty going away, the Salford City Reds. Keith Senior that time. Oh, and a change on the City Reds side. Andy Coley. Oh, was fine of the season down here from the City Reds this year. Has always made a big impact when he come on sub. And Salford working it forward steadily. Alker there again. Blakely seen half an opening but quickly closed. Goulding gets it out quickly to Southern. Pass out to Maloney. Maloney can't elude his tackler. Good tackling by the Rhinos. It's Keith Senior. Goulding looking for the kick. Little kick through. Running and running, but running dead. And everybody watches it go. Harmlessly dead from the Leeds Rhinos. Safely dead from the Rhinos' point of view. And look how quickly they want to get on it. Robbie Mears up there so quickly. And if they're sensing that if the 12-men City Reds defence doesn't get back quickly, there's a chance for them. But the City Reds back were... Salford City Reds defence was back in time that time. Bobby Goulding shouting, encouraging his teammates to make the big hits, and they did that time. And again. There it was. There's Harris running down. Great play from Harris. Now here's a chance for the Rhinos. Important tackle. A forward pass given. So had the break been made, it wouldn't have counted. And the Salford City Reds defence stretched, but not broken. Salford with the put-in. Seemed to be a high one. Keith Senior in for do his tackle on Maloney. All right up from full back roll today. Southern's put down. Salford a little bunched. Blakely sets off. Not where particularly Mainwright does though. But the Leeds Rhinos defence stands firm. Coley just checks as he takes the ball, and that's just sufficient for the Rhinos to make the tackle count. So there's all right this time with a little kick over. Pinkney's on the chase. It's all on the back. Going back. Well taken by Pratt and well taken by Pinkney. Thrilling rugby league. Graham Holroyd dabbing the ball forward with the outside of his boot. The cover defence from Carl Pratt. First class. Putting his body over the ball between the ball and the attacker. And for Salford, Nick Pinkney herring up, chasing the kick, making the tackle over the line, meaning that the Rhinos have to drop out from under their own sticks. And this time Salford defending more deeply. That sits nicely for Coley, who takes it nonchalantly with one hand and sets off and runs well across field, shrugs one off and a second one, and the Salford City Reds fans love that. Big impression is what he's made this season, and that's what he did then. Conspicuous strong running and a very good try that he scored against the Broncos on Monday. Takes it into the 20 now. Can the 12 men prize an opening? Ball goes to ground, and that's got to be a knock-on. That's a disappointing end, a little bit of uncoordination. Oh, and there's that man who's always seen an eye for the opening. A fantastic run from Harris, and all of a sudden it's the Rhinos that have made half the length of the field, as Salford this time are penalised for infringing, as the penalty's taken quickly, safely. But the Rhinos have a good attacking position now to stretch the Salford defence. Burrows is probing well. Sinfield is running and probing, but tackled well. Salford still down to 12. Oh, there's a good strong surging run from Bradley Clyde, who's entered the play. Rob Burrows still going through. Brilliant play, fantastic play from the little man. And now there is Rob Burrows. It wasn't him before, was it? Come before. Oh, that ball hung on to, now dropped. It was Robbie Mears who made the break before, of course he was. And a real attacking opportunity, little kick through into space, but the ball's running dead and safe from the Salford Reds' point of view. So that's the first time we've really seen the attacking force from the Leeds Rhinos put pressure on the Salford's defensive line, but they stuck to their defensive task. So Salford seem to have weathered the period where they've been down to 12 men, because they're now back to full strength. And there's that man, Warren Jowett, had 10 minutes rested. And it will look for all the world as if Darren Fleary was punching again then. Blakely has to hold it up and step, but can't elude his tackler. Can't elude Anthony Farrell. Goulding, the high one, across this side of the field. Pressure, but great take by Marcus Saint-Hilaire, who then sets off. Crossfield makes best part of 20 metres before he's tackled. Leeds working this ball well and safely forward. Carl Pratt tries to shrug off Jowett, no chance. Mears gets it over to Darren Fleary. Warren Jowett happy to be one of the first tacklers, and again a little bit of fisticuffs or needle. And there's Harris running, that ball goes down, now the kick's on, now the chase is on. Who's going to get there? Oh, it's incredible. Littlest man, Rob Burrows, the first one to react. That's brilliant. But it's another 6 to the Rhinos, because the ball was pumped forward by the City Reds. Bradley Clyde, the previous run, and look at that pumping legs from Carl Pratt. Leeds working it steadily. Now Leeds have rung the changes. There's Tony Carroll on, recovering from his injury. Will he make the big impact that we've seen, that we know he can make? Oh, great bagging of Robbie Mears by Coley. It's the last one, so it's got a Harris who has time, takes the kick. It's hanging and hanging. Holroyd's under it. Makes it safely his. Chase is good, he makes no ground, but what an excellent take from Holroyd. Playing well at fullback, unaccustomed role. Baxter can't get away, and the referee is adjudging that there was a knock-on from Baxter, so looking good, but unfortunately coming up with a couple of errors, because I think this is going to be a putting now. Mr. Smith is pulling out Darren Fleary and Warren Jowett. They were the two involved in the earlier incident, which saw Jowett being sin-binned, and Mr. Smith, perhaps with a little bit of assistance from up here, sensing that there's still a little bit of needle there. But the knock-on and the chance for Leeds, only 18 metres out to put real pressure on the Salford try line. Harris, nice release of the ball to Cummings. Cummings put down, Burrows goes for Bradley Clyde, tries to get the ball away, and he does. Now's a chance, and it's there, and in the end it looks easy. One tackle not totally completed, and at the end of it, I think it was who was it? It was Chev Walker who was on the end of the scoring pass from close range, and so the Stars, the big name signings, Tony Carroll's on, Bradley Clyde's on, doing their job And Bradley Clyde forcing an opening that wasn't really there, and with Chev Walker in support, scores the first try of the afternoon, try of the evening of this game. 33 minutes gone before the Rhinos have taken the lead, as Harris is heartily booed by the City Reds fans for the length of time it takes in considering the kick. Won't make any difference to him. And look at that, that looked for all the world as if it was going wide, but it swerved in and finished up right in the middle of the sticks. 8-4 to the Rhinos. Oh, there's an interesting little kick forward, but Harris was alert to it, but it's good to see a different ploy, different tactic. It could so easily have come off. Darren Brown on for the Salford City Reds, so the change is being made. Robbie Mears put down. Darren Fleary. Wainwright puts his down with Warren Jowett. There's big man Carroll. Look at that. No, can anybody stop this guy when he gets going? Incredible. Tony Carroll's power and strength. Fleary's in there. Now there's an overlap for the Rhinos on that side. Harris is going to prompt it through. Who's going back there? Who's going back there? It's Nick Pinkney, who forces himself back into the field of play so that Salford don't have to drop out. Great play from him. Excellent kick as always from Harris, putting the Salford defence under pressure. It's all right. Clears his line steadily. Southern does the same. Darren Brown tries to change direction, but only into his defenders that time. Only into the tacklers. It's the last one. Holroyd with a big kick. That is a big kick. Going a long, long way, but it's going to roll dead. Certainly clears the Salford defensive lines though, and Leeds start on their own 20. So 4 minutes to half time, an important period of play. Another score now could make such a difference to either of these teams. And just at the moment, Bradley Clyde's going forward, trying to make that score, and there's that important release of the ball while the tacklers are involved. And if only that had come out to the right for the Rhinos, there were men over. It didn't, and Rhinos all bunched to the left at the moment. Comes right nonetheless, and Carroll, he can do it all on his own. Not that time though. Happy just to take the tackles. Leeds working it forward steadily. And Harris again. So many options when Harris has the ball. There's a great run through. Andy Hay looked as though he was going to strike clear, but Salford managed to put him down there. Sinfield going, and that's a kick over into space. And that's running and running, and Holroyd does a brilliant job defending the attack, but unfortunately not able to keep the ball in play. So the referee is going to talk to the touch judge about what the defence is, and it's going to be a scrum down and a put into the Rhinos. Holroyd fielding the ball and sliding out of the field of play means that the Rhinos have the put in and a chance to score more points. 3 minutes to half time. Another 6 now to the Rhinos could make the game convincingly theirs, and they're in an excellent position to do it. Harris fancies doing it on his own. Salford have other ideas. Carroll again. Strength, power, weight. Salford need 3 to bring him down. Mears gets it out quickly to Fleary. Tries to go in from close range, but again Salford make the tackle. Mears again. Over to Sinfield. Good long pass. Men over. Hay sells the dummy, but brilliant tackle by Darren Brown, who doesn't buy it. Still coming though. Still coming. Oh, who's going for it? Oh, the ball dropped. Oh, Salford have played it. So what's the referee's going to say? He's waved him off. So another 6 for the Rhinos. Salford fans not happy, and unfortunately Neil Baxter involved in the things that are going Leeds' way at the moment, but Rhinos still working the short side. The ball still carries on, and there's another tackle made. The ball dropped, forward pass given by the crowd and the touch judge, and the pressure that Salford soaked up by the City Reds defence, and they can certainly take enormous credit for being under the cosh inside their own 10. And when it looked as though they were going to have to tattle through a second set of 6, the forward pass just eased the pressure as we get to 1 minute to half time, but the Leeds still have the advantage. Salford working a different move from the scrum. There's certainly some ideas being shown from the City Reds, and so they have the chance to clear the line. Alka sets off and then gets it onto Darren Brown, inside to Maloney. Maloney can't break through the tacklers, raining harder than ever. Southern has it pinched off him, more than one has to be. Got to be a penalty. 3 in the tackle, 1 pinched the ball, not allowed. So Goulding is going to decide that with the assistance of the wind from the halfway line, he managed to pinch 3 or 4 yards, I think, from where the penalty was given. He's going to be very confident that he can make the distance. Halfway line, be a big kick if he gets this one, and could be a crucial 2 points. And Leeds will feel well pleased that this first half against the elements and so-called summer rugby is yet again, oh no, Goulding's gone back inside his own half. Yet again on the 22nd of April in British summertime, we've got a cold day, no sign of the sun, raining hard and a biting wind. So Leeds Rhinos will feel pleased that they've had those elements in their faces and are going to come out at half time, you would think, with the lead. 8-4 at the minute, and Goulding going to go for what would be a 51-metre spectacular penalty. So can he do it? Well, it hits it well, it hits it long, but it's going wide, but wide it is. Hunnell stayed in field of play, is what the in-goal judges decided, but that was a brilliant kick right on the stroke of half time. It had the length, not the direction, and a very evenly fought first half leads the both teams, with Leeds Rhinos just having the initiative of the 1 try, but the City Reds fans, they're happy with what they've seen from the Salford defensive effort, and the half-time scores of City Reds 4, Leeds Rhinos 8. Salford get it underway in the second half against the wind, and if Leeds do score, Leeds will really feel as though they've got a home game, because they're now attacking the end, the north stand end of the Willows ground, where their supporters are massed, swelling the Willows crowd today. Oh, ball flirting out. Neil Baxter makes it his and hangs on to it safely, so an early opportunity for Salford to try and do something from within the Rhinos half, and another reminder of how difficult the conditions are. Alka sets off again. Salford in the 30, an early score to the City Reds really would liven this game up. Southern still takes it forward. 4th tackle. Goulding at pace, looking for his runners. Jowett though has to stop to take the ball, and the Leeds defence so good. So it's the last one. It's the high one. It's into the corner. Who's hanging? Oh, a great take. Hanging, but comfortably taken by Carl Pratt. As Keith Senior thought he'd seen an opening then. Great take from Carl Pratt, snuffing out that first Salford attack in the second half. And with the wind, I'm sure we'll see Harris kicking. Oh, big hit and the referee says that wasn't fair. And when you think of that he was upended, and when you think of some of the punishment that Darren Fleary hangs out, then it was a one-to-one tackle that seemed, well, we've seen a lot worse, haven't we, go uncommented on. So the penalty going the way of the Rhinos. Graham Holroyd had an excellent first half in his unaccustomed role of full-back. And when the full-backs are back, I'm sure he'll be starting in the line-up in the half-back, because we've not seen too much from Steve Blakely. Fleary again involved. Harris using his run as well. Cummins that time up from full-back, being pushed to the touchline, but still stays in the field of play, and a chance for the Rhinos, only 30 metres out from the Salford line. Harris as always. Brodbury, now there's a chance. Andy Hayes nearly found a way through. What an important tackle from Darren Brown, but still his short side being worked. Sinfield this time gets the ball onto Pratt, who immediately gets it into the middle of the field from Bradley Clyde, who did the damage for the first try by forcing a hole and then releasing the ball. Now Harris losing his runners, and again the pass, the forward pass, happens so often in rugby league this season, that in trying to gain that extra half-yard, passes are being flat and forward. Coley cross field, and 3 tackles have gone, and Salford still on their own 10-metre line. Southern straightens up, goes forward over the 20. Mike Wainwright tries to find a way through on his own, but there's no way through, but he releases the ball nonetheless. So important, but recovering from Rhinos. A match for the play. Blakely tries to find a way on his own, but not with great conviction. Now's a good pass on. Now's a pass on to Baxter. Baxter stops and holds and stays in play and takes the tackle. Promising move. It's the last one though. So Littler decides to go on his own. He still comes up with the ball. Oh, but then drops it. Interesting play from Littler. Could have been promising. Now it's a chance for the Rhinos. Cummings sets off. Broken play. Don't take your eyes off it. Fleer. So interesting play then for the City Reds. Oh, but that was forward. Not given. Another one of those flat balls. That was back though. There's little Burrows doing so much. Now Sinfield. Oh, but that was a good tackle from Alkis, spotting that it was Keith Senior who was coming onto the ball. Burrow again. Bradley Clyde again. Salford having to work hard now to keep the Rhinos out, because Mears has seen a chance. Great release of the ball. Now there's a chance. His men over this side. Carl Pratt's that extra man. Great burst of speed. Great play. The ball goes down. The referee doesn't know what to do. Senior holds it up. Still the play goes on. Mears is there again. Straightens up. Slips. Now it's the last one. Salford under the cosh. Sinfield gets it over quickly to Harris. Little kick through, and the ball's running, and who's getting there? In the end, nobody, but no Salford player was covering that kick, and the ball was just kicked a little bit too heavy. Salford Bobby Goulding wants to get on with it quickly, nobody else though. But Wainwright does now. Fleary again involved, going high. Ball dropped. Knock on, pressure for the Rhinos to assert on the Salford defence. Littler losing the ball in the tackle, and the Salford City Reds fans not happy with the decision, wanting him to have given the penalty for the ball being raked, but Rob Burrow is there putting the ball in the scrum, and the pressure all coming from the Rhinos at the start of this half. Harris runs and runs, and in the end it needs 3 of them to carry him back. He won't bother. He'll just build again. Bradley Clyde still gets the ball away. That's brilliant play. Suck men in and get away like that. Senior can't be held. Holker does though. And the roll forward now from the Rhinos, looking awesome. Putting the passes together, releasing the ball in the tackle, so good. Harris involved again, and Carroll. Big mountain of a man. Salford put him down though nonetheless. Burrow Going a little kick through into space. Who's going for it? Nobody. In the end, Baxter does the sensible thing and kicks it dead under pressure. So they drop out under the sticks, and the Salford City Reds have had 6 of the 7 minutes of the second half under the cosh from the Rhinos attackers. A change on the Leeds side. Goulding gets the kick to halfway. Cummings looks for support. Has a multitude of options. Simfield is the man he takes. Gets it on quickly to Bradley Clyde. Forceful running from Bradley Clyde into the 20. Again, Rhinos camping inside Salford territory. Andy Hay, big hit on him. Great tackle. Needed to be. But still they're going forward. Coley it was. Harris looks for his runners. Oh, the ball goes to ground. Now is there a chance? Blakely looked to pass to Baxter, thought better of it, and a let off for the City Reds defence in the one sense, but in another they worked hard at defending and forced the error. And again Jowett and Fleary involved, and the touch judge this time intervening. And all the referee will do is say, don't do that, Darren. Just leave Mr. Jowett alone. So the penalty going the way of the Salford City Reds, and that's a brilliant touch kick, and it takes Salford inside Leeds territory. 8-4 in arrears against the elements. Goulding with a switch, another switch to Jowett, but Jowett signalled and picked out for the tackle by Tony Carroll. Michael Hancock has joined the Salford attack. Not sure who he's replaced. Blakely gets on to Coley. Gets the pass out to Pinkney, who does well to take a difficult pass. But again, the Leeds defence a match for the Salford play. Darren Brown gets it out quickly. Alker takes it up, and it's the last one. Can Salford work something from 10 metres out? Little kick through into space. Chase is there, and who's got there? And Salford have got it. Well, who's made it? Was it Stuart Littler? Referee's thinking about it. Was the downward pressure? He's thinking, and he's giving it. Well, it looked as though the Rhinos had got it covered, but these balls are so dangerous. The kick from Bobby Goulding was judged so well. I think it was Stuart Littler who was there first and jumped on the ball, and that is the great score that the Salford City Reds needed to lift their game in this second half, because it levels the score. Against the run of play, it has to be said. It's 9 minutes into the second half, and 8 minutes of it have been Leeds attacking. Yeah, but Derek, I think it was Stuart Littler who scored it. It was Littler under the bodies, slippy conditions, and that looks so bad that he isn't going to be able to carry on. And that is going to be a big blow to the City Reds, just as if they've clawed the way back into the game, because he is their playmaker. And in a situation that was so harmless on the face of it. So Carl Hammond makes one of his first appearances for the City Reds, and Salford will have to regroup and reorganise, and there's that man making a big impression for the City Reds. Coley, Paul Southern, Fleary's everywhere, into great tackling stint from him. Michael Hancock looks to take his men on and go forward. Warren Jowett, Fleary again shrugs him off this time, but Fleary is there for a second. Southern goes forward, getting to the last one. Who's going to get into the Bobby Goulding role? Is it going to be Steve Blakely with the kicking? Yes, it is. It's going deep, making the defence churn. It has to be played. Littler's up first. Cummings takes it safely his, but the Wainwright chase is good. But adjudged to be offside. I think that was Mr. Holdsworth's decision up here. Well, it seemed as though he'd run his 10 metres, and so Goulding receiving treatment. Big blow to the City Reds not to have Goulding there. Instrumental in the try, a little jab through. And the Salford fans happy to chant, although Carroll's in full flow, even though he's got 3 men round him, his legs still pumping. Andy Hay can't get past Olker and Wainwright, but they're in the Salford half of Leeds. Harris in the line looking for the line. There's a great release of the ball to Sinfield, who gets rid of it quickly, and Harris now has field play to work in. He's got support. Oh, ball goes to ground, and Salford just happy to rest and slow things down and take the scrum. But the pressure from the Salford tacklers just doing their bit to put pressure on the Leeds attackers. But Leeds, the Rhinos, so good at releasing the ball in the tackle, and in these conditions it is a tremendous achievement. And Ryan Sheridan is on. Michael Hancock. And the Salford fans at 8-all seeing something to shout about. Leeds all offside over this side of the field, and that time the referee sees it. Blakely sees it's his, gets sets off, looks to just slows down a little bit. Salford causing the Rhinos to backpedal. Oh, Maloney taken down off the ball. Referee not sure what was going on then, so Hammond ambles into the middle of the field. Wainwright uses Jowett as a dummy runner that time. The Leeds defence though has gone up a tackling notch. Stuart Lickler, so nice pass on. Hammond though wrapped up, can't get rid of the pass. Oh, has the ball knocked out of his hand, went backwards, says the referee. Still the last one. Salford have another chance. Going to Holroyd for the drop goal, and it's that nice. Is it good? No, it's not. Just to the right of the post, but that was quick thinking from Holroyd and had time. So Leeds can regroup, get themselves together. Senior, but the Reds' defensive effort is superb this afternoon. Sheridan puts the ball down. Salford kick ahead. Cole is on the chase. Harris is going back. They're all going back. On the ball still squirms loose, and that's a knock on, and that's going to be pressure now on the Leeds line. Mr. Smith was still up with the play, breaking things up. Break is still up with the previous play. Coley kicking on, putting the pressure on Harris, and the put in to the Salford City Reds. Now can they turn this position and this possession into that vital thing of points? Possession, position and points at the end of it. We'll see. 16 minutes in the second half, 8 apiece. Hancock trying to find a way through that ball like a bar of soap, the proverbial bar of soap, so slippy. Hammond sells a very outrageous slow dummy, pushes one off and two off, goes back to his tacklers. Alker's there to Blakely. Back to Coley, working hard. Fleary though. Brilliant effort from Fleary. Blakely gets on with it quickly to Holroyd. Back to Southern. Southern can't break through. Still 2 more tackles. Leeds defence holding out brilliantly well. Oh, and the ball goes to ground, and that would be a knock on. So at the end of it, it's the tackling from the Rhinos, the pressure that they were putting on the Salford attackers. It just creates the doubts in the mind of the attackers, and with this slippy ball, you do sense that the next score could be vital. Leeds all over this left side of the field, and Salford tackling so well. Like that from Olker, and Pratt though is getting away. In the end, it's Maloney who puts him down. But they build again, relentless. Coming forward, Andy Hay that time, and the ball, he just pushes it away. That's a knock on. It wasn't pushed out, he dropped it. I think it's Dutch Judge who got that one wrong. He certainly dropped that one as he was coming up from it. So let's hope that's not crucial from the City Reds' point of view. Olker stands firm against Fleary, but now there's a roll on for the Rhinos. Sheridan's there, he's trying to create the space. Senior gets the ball down. Sheridan makes it his though. Mears is in the line, he gets it out to Andy Hay. Hay tackles, Salford defence under pressure. Mears works it right, Harris. His runners are there, Harris doesn't need him, he's going on his own, and Harris from absolutely nothing has shown why he's the world-class player that he is, because there was nothing on. He had a dummy runner with him. Harris eluded one tackle, then a second, and ghosted round Holroyd with effortless ease to score a try that in the last few minutes of the play has come against the runner play. But that is Harris at his majestic best. It's the Harris genius that makes him so difficult to deal with. He's done nothing really. He's kicked and he's probed, but when half chance came, he made it into a whole chance, and has settled a few Leeds nerves with the try and the conversion, because they now have the initiative at 14 points to 8. And when we look back at that game, we'll say that all came from a decision which went very harshly against the Salford City Reds, with a penalty to Leeds that should have been a scrum and a put into Salford. But this Salford's this season made of stern stuff, and we're going to find out just how stern now. (14-8) down, 20 minutes to go. Pratt's working hard, and he's in there bundled into touch. Brilliant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man tackle. Pratt's not happy about it. Won't let Salford have the ball. His frustration, I think, at losing position and so early in the tackle count, but that is a measure of the Salford determination. So Wainwright dumped up and down. Referee says that's all right. Jowett tackled quickly by Harris. The crowd not happy with something. Salford just need to regroup a little bit at the moment. Nice relief to the ball, and there's another one on. Southern does so well not nearly to take it, but it means the pressure is now off the Rhinos defence, and they can relax. They've got the lead, they can play a little bit. Ankle tap from Blakely. Chev Walker. To Carroll, trying to force his way through. Oh, Mark Calderwood it is who's on the field. And Harris going for a long kick, going for the 40-20, and a 40-20 is what he's got. First one of the afternoon, and that is the strength of the wind. So the Rhinos fans happy to have that confirmed by Mr. Smith. Nick Pinkney was haring back, but the pace of the ball, the grease on the surface, just helped it on its way into touch. So Harris scoring the magic try, kicking the goals, finding the touch as Ryan Sheridan starts to work his magic after his injury. Harris again using his dummy runners now, still gets time to release the ball. And Salford under pressure again. Fleary this time takes it up. Coming left, Sheridan runs and runs. Hay still coming left. Salford thin, lots of men over, but Salford make the important tackle from their point of view. Bradley Clyde and close in. It's the last one. One more chance now. Can Salford hold out? Going to Myers, it's going to Sheridan, little kick through, it's running and running, and Olker pounces on it, makes it safe and stays in the field of play. Brilliant play from him, but Salford really going to struggle to get outside their own 10-metre area. Coley's going to hit the big man and run off. Brilliant play from Coley, brilliant play. Big impact from Andy Colo this season. Impeding the tackle is what the fans said, and that's what Mr. Smith agreed with as well that time. Brilliant defence from the Salford City Reds. Brilliant defence from them. Little thought he'd seen an opening then. Nobody was quite ready to take it. And there's Michael Hancock seeing space. Brilliant surge from him. Salford not out of this one. Blakely. Little kick through, bit early perhaps from Hammond, because that's quite easy for Pratt. And with the release of the ball, there's a chance now for the Rhinos to build. Harris is back there looking for his support. Salford, Carl Hammond didn't realise there was still more place to be had. Malone is limping a little bit. Hammond up quickly to make the first tackle. Ball goes to ground. Oh dear. So penalty to the Rhinos. Which Harris makes no mistake with. And again the roll is with the Rhinos as they come forward in this second half. They now have the score initiative. They have the 6-point cushion. They can relax a little bit. They've had to work extremely hard against the Salford defence, which is still not giving anything. Sheridan, oh, he's found an opening. That's Sheridan at his best. Can he go all the way? Oh, fantastic break from Sheridan. But Salford scrambled so brilliantly that time. Harris is doing it. Oh, Sheridan, great inside ball and a fantastic tackle from Olker. Salford though under pressure. Bradley Clyde gets it over to Harris, and they're queuing up. Carroll that time put down. Brilliant break from Sheridan and a fantastic cover tackle from the City Reds. Now it's Sheridan again. Salford thin on this side, but Sheridan bagged again by Malcolm Olker. Brilliant tackle from him. Mears is looking for Harris. He's going for the one-pointer. Nobody tries to stop him, and 1 point might just be enough. 15 points to 8. And Salford tackling the hearts out in this one. 15 points to 8 with 15 minutes to go means Salford have now got to score twice. Salford have worked so hard in this game, tackled so well. They've made the Rhinos fight all the way for whatever they've got. I think it's Paul Southern who's gone off for his break, and Paul Heighton has returned. So the tide, the second half tide, just turning the way of the Rhinos, but the Salford City Reds defensive effort is brilliant, and again the penalty decisions now going the way of the Rhinos. Means that they can make easy yards and that much closer to the Salford line. So from halfway, Sheridan gets on it quickly. To Fleary, who else? Fleary's just the same. Harris holds them up. Oh, you see, great release of the ball, and Bradley Clyde's in his stride. Sheridan. Andy Hay. This is what Leeds are good at, releasing the ball. Great hit on Bradley Clyde, and Jowett successfully brings him down. With Coley. Harris, little kick over. Michael Hancock has to play it, and play it he does. It's Neil Baxter who's been taken off. Littler has to run a long way back to be there in position to receive the ball, to play the ball. And Salford, for the first time, just a little bit slow getting back. And 3 tackles have gone, and Salford still inside their own 10. The Leeds defence up so quickly. Ryan Sheridan that time in the first line of the defence. Michael Hancock surging forward. happy to boot it forward. Very good ground. Calderwood. Tackled successfully at the second attempt. Cummins. Goulding's just jogging on the touchline, strapped up, seeing if he's fit enough to return. Harris, now there's a chance, little kick through, now the chase is on, who's going back for it? Senior's in full chase. Holroyd dives on it and makes it his, and then Carl Pratt feeling aggrieved that Pinckney knocked him away from the ball. Pinckney protecting his own man, and Salford again struggling to get out of this 10-metre area. Came from that. Oh, that was well taken. And still Michael Hancock going, releases the ball to Blakely. Blakely though looks for somebody. Somebody is Jowett. Salford have to play the football, the catch-up football, because they have the 7-point score deficit. Jowett taking a knock. Paul Heitney working it forward now. It's the last tackle going to Blakely, playing it still, has to go down, so it's Holroyd with the kick, but that's straight in touch, and perhaps a significant point maybe that the game's just swinging away from the City Reds, trying as hard as they can as Fleary leaves the field. He's had a big game today, big tackling stint. And these Salford City Reds have had a big tackling stint. They've performed heroics on defence, no matter what happens in this last 10 minutes. Their defensive effort has been absolutely outstanding. So the changes. James Matthew comes on for Fleary, Damien Driscoll's back on, and Sheridan's running. Harris is running, can't get away that time. Oh, nice switch to Matthews. Simple pass, but important. It's the last one. There's men over for Leeds this side. Sheridan gets the ball out there. Sinfield's there. Senior's there. Sinfield gets the ball to Pratt. Everybody says it's forward. Goes to ground. Pinckney makes it safe. But the referee, I thought it's going to be a scrum down and a put into Leeds. That's what the referee is going to hear from the touch judge. And nobody's going to like. Oh no, it's not. It's a put into the City Reds. And I thought, oh, perhaps it's the knock-on that's being given before it went out of play. The knock-on, but frantic play from the Rhinos, and brilliant defence from the City Reds. Absolutely first-class defensive effort from the City Reds today. Conceded 2 tries they might have done, but that is an achievement against this Leeds team that's fancied for a top 5 slot. A much tighter game than we've seen in previous years. And the Salford City Reds can see the clock ticking down, but one score they know could be the spark for a second on the halfway line. Back to Michael Hancock, running well and releasing. Coley picks it up, takes on Harris, pushes him off and sets off down the wing. Brilliant, forceful running from Coley. Michael Hancock. Leeds coming up quickly. Hammond, comfortable take on him. Little move into space, the chase is on. Cummins is coming across, makes it him, and then he's pushed into touch, and that will be pressure from the Salford City Reds. Again, great chase from Darren Brown. Francis Cummins did well to hold on to the ball safely in these conditions especially. But the greasy surface, a little nudge from Darren Brown, And there he was in touch, and the Salford City Reds fans, seeing they've had a good performance from their team, urging them on. Holroyd, half an opening. Wainwright, close in. Held up. Okay. Driscoll. Okay. Tries to go on his own. Can't make it. The Rhinos defence standing firm. And there's a chance for the Salford, and there's a score! Oh, that is an unbelievable score from absolutely nothing. No, I think it was Andy Coley. I'm not sure. It was from absolutely nothing. But it was Michael Hancock. That was brilliant. There was absolutely nothing on. Everybody thought the pass was going. He had to beat three men in no space at all. And he did that, and that really has set up an enthralling final 5 minutes of this game, because the scores have now reduced the Leeds lead to 3 points. Fantastic riposte from the City Reds, fully deserved from their efforts this afternoon. And 5 minutes to go. Salford fighting this one out right to the end, and that's not something that we would have seen from previous Salford teams over the last 2 or 3 years. So change of kicker, Golding still off the field. Holroyd ahead of Blakely. Says that's good. The fans told us that was good. And there's only a 1 point margin. 14 plays 15, and we have 5 minutes to go. So now Leeds will be asking themselves, can they hang on? Can they find something to break open the Salford defence? So both teams, both sides conceded 2 tries. Driscoll takes it forward, and then Pinkley does the same. 15 plays 14. And the Salford City Reds fans are happy. They're not winning, but they're happy because they've seen a quality performance from the City Reds defensively. They've seen great attitude, great commitment. Holroyd kicks deep, the chase is on. Littler's chase is good. Cummins has time up to make it safely his. Wainwright's work rate has been good, has been outstanding today. Darren Brown's trying to G up his team, because Leeds are slow to get back. And Salford wants to play the game down there. The Salford fans think that Salford are now in the ascendancy in this period of the game, and you can see why. They've got plenty to shout about from this Salford performance today. It's the kick long and deep, and the chase is on. Holroyd has time to make it safely his. Doesn't use Hancock, and that's sensible in these conditions. Stuart Littler. Blakely, now is there a chance over this side? Is the men over? Maloney steps and comes inside and straightens up and still goes. Can't quite get clear. Bradley Clyde that time doing the important tackling. Hammond. Holroyd. Has to be tackled. Is tackled. And put down eventually. Paul Hyden just stops it, steps it up. Can't get in the clear. Chev Walker, I think he was holding on. Blakely with the high one. It's hanging. Who's going for it? Everybody's going for it. Who takes it? Who takes it and who tackles him? That is brilliant. That is magnificent rugby league. The kick judged to perfection. The take from Francis Cumming was outstanding under pressure, and the Salford chase was a match for the kick. 3 tacklers forcing Cummings back over the line is outstanding Super League. Now Salford know they have 2 minutes in which to do something. Can they conjure something from this position? The ball should be theirs. What a big kick. Oh, that's professional, clever play from Darren Brown, taking the ball on his chest. It's forced out of him, and it's going to be it's not a penalty. Darren Brown not happy. Now it is a penalty. So what looked as though an opportunity might have been coming the way of City Reds, Darren Brown loses the ball. So Leeds have the possession, and possession is vital now. With 2 minutes, 1 minute to go and counting down. All Leeds need to do is play out time. Anthony Farrell's back on. Leeds just work it slowly, carefully. Happy to take the tackles. They have the lead. Harris won't, he'll be looking for another score. One score could be so important. Hay thinks he's got a chance, and he has. Chev Walker's there, Chev Walker's going, and he passes out to Carl Pratt, and Carl Pratt is going to score the vital one right at the end. At the end, and a move that went right up the middle. Chev Walker it was who made the break. Well, it settled the game, there's no doubt about that. But Salford can hold their heads high from this one, feeling cheated and aggrieved. But that was a forward pass. Mr. Smith, though, Paul Heighton incensed. Right on the end of that move. And Harris with the kick. Oh, look at that, that's brilliant. It's not quite good enough to score, but at 19-14, that has to be, you would think, game over. There's the final hooter. It was that close. It was 15-14. With no time at all to go. The City Reds can hold their heads up high. There's City Reds fans not happy with some of the decisions, but 3 tries in the end to the Rhinos. Pratt got the last one, Walker got the first, and Harris had a bit of magic in between. Harris scored 3 goals and a drop goal, and for the City Reds, Stuart Littler latched on to a kick through. Mike Hancock made a try from nothing. Bobby Goulding kicked 2 goals and prompted whilst he was on the field before he went off injured. Graham Holroyd got a third. The final score after an enthralling game of Super League at the Willows, Salford City Reds 14, the Leeds Rhinos 19.